blur you out. It's up to you. Totally up to you. We're having a nice, friendly conversation here, aren't we? Nothing untoward.
Having a friendly conversation.
Good man, because I can see. I think I personally believe you're just hanging about there because you believe in that. You've had an experience. I'm not one to throw water on that experience. But what I would say, Hindus have experiences in the river Ganges when they make ablution and they're washed away with their sins, and they've seen from their deities have come in their lives, and exactly the same way as you've experienced it. But what I'm trying, even if Muslims will say, oh, or this guy,
some people go to Mecca and they get experience, don't they?
Precisely. So it's subjective, isn't it? It's untestifiable. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Don't you?
I know what resonates with me.
Fine, that's cool. And
I know that the Son of God came to earth because so God could experience life on earth.
Yeah.
You know
So my friend, you know what? Listen to this now, please. Now you've addressed.
So no concern Judgment Day. You don't know what it's like to be us because you never experienced it.
Okay, so
the Lord experienced what humans.
Okay. So let me explain something to you. Please,
He's not a distant figure.
Yeah.
He's not some cold figure.
I know what you. I understand.
Above the heavens.
Yeah, he's distant away, and
he's relational. He's the Heavenly Father. You know?
Yes, but let me explain.
That's what Muslims don't understand.
So what?
Relationship.
So what I would say to you in regards to some of the
if you grasp the love of God, then you'll understand.
Yeah, that's
what
fine.
God is all about.
Yeah.
There's no greater love than someone to lay their life down for their friends, and God demonstrated that through Jesus Christ.
But you see, why didn't God? So we're going to go off on a side point. Then you could ask, why doesn't God send him?
When you grasp the love of God, it's unmistakable.
Yeah, but okay.
It's not a cold, mechanical, legalistic, doing the right thing because you have to. It's the pure love, the love and grace of God motivates you not to sin. That's what you have to truly grasp.
I understand what you're saying. I do.
It's not about logic. It's not about mind. It's deeper. It's
but
spiritual.
Notice, fine, but it's
the heart, the love of God is deeper than anything that you can ever imagine.
But God does.
That's what you have to grasp. Then it will make sense to you.
Okay, but God does say as well in the Bible, love your Lord with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. So when it says the mind, it's asking you to reflect, to reason, because God is not the author of confusion within your own Bible. So what I'm trying to say to you, I'm not trying to be condescending. I just want to have a conversation. The term Son of God in the Bible, did you know what it means? Let me look, you're an Englishman, yes? Are you
born in
England? Okay, all right, but okay, you may have other ethnicities within your makeup, whatever. Okay, but you're in England. I was born here as well. You're born here. Okay. So basically speaking, listen to this. Check this out. Son of God. You just mentioned it. God the Son. Let's just examine what I've just said. Son of God. Yes? God the Son. Son of God is a title used ubiquitously, meaning widespreadly, for many people in the Bible. It simply refers to those individuals who represent God are referred to as sons of God. The definition is given in Matthew chapter 5 verse 9. Christ says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be known as the sons of God." In John chapter 10 verse 33, Christ defines what a son of God is by appealing to the Jews who want to get rid of him. Is it not written in your scriptures that you are God's? He's appealing to them that even you people are known as gods, those who do God's work. From Psalm 82:6, powerful human beings, angels.
No one can claim to walk on the earth without sinning.
Pardon?
No one can ever claim to walk on the earth without sinning.
Well, when a baby is, I understand your theology, but what we say is a baby, for example, is born sinless.
Every single prophet on this earth has sinned.
Yeah, so this is where
the only one that the devil hasn't got a foothold is the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the only one, not any other prophet.
Okay, fine, that's what your belief is. But
only Jesus never sinned. There has to be one.
So, okay, do you want to...
He's the true Son of God.
Okay, so when I say to you again, I just want to define this.
And only through his sacrifice can we have salvation.
Okay, fine, that's your belief.
Sins lead to death.
Okay, so that's your belief. Can I listen?
If you take somebody's life, all the good deeds in the world cannot go up to that level. You cannot pay for that life.
But
how many charitable acts you do in your life, if you kill someone, you can never repay that. You know what I mean?
You see, in Mark chapter 10, verse 45, which speaks about Christ dying for the ransom of the sins of many. You see, it begs the question, who is the ransom paid to? Is it paid to God, who in himself would be seen as some sort of hard arbitrator, who is taking the sin, who is put in when he can easily forgive the person, and the ransom would hence not be required? Or does it pay it to the devil, in which case the devil would be on the equal footing with God? So it doesn't make any sense in that respect that a ransom is paid to God himself, who is the one who is actually calling upon his son apparently to die. So is God paying himself for the death of his son? This is in Mark 10:45. But what I want to define to you,
holy and just. So
yeah, so God is a just.
He needs to punish sin at the same time.
Yeah, so in Ezekiel, check this verse out. In Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 20, it says that the wickedness of the wicked will remain upon the person. I'm just paraphrasing it. It's not the exact word, but the righteousness of the righteousness should be on the good, and the wickedness of the wicked, or the sin of the wicked, should be upon the one who's perpetrated. It does not. You don't have inheritance of sin. In Psalm chapter 40, verse 6, it says, I'm not giving you the reference. Psalm chapter 40, verse 6, it says God detests human sacrifice and does not require it. I'll repeat that once more. This will be recorded. You can check it out later to see if I've misquoted anything or I've tried to pull your leg over or something. So it's clear from the Old Testament that God detests human sacrifice. The terms.
Human sacrifice.
Pardon?
Yeah, he's outlawed human sacrifice. Obviously, he detests it because it's wicked.
Sorry?
He detests human sacrifice because it's wicked.
Exactly. But so we know then Christ
laid down his life for himself.
But we say that, but that's something. There's a discrepancy within that.
If somebody saves you from a building on fire and gives their life up to save your life, that's not human sacrifice. He sacrificed himself to save you.
But it appears to me
you're distorting.
I don't believe I shall tell you why.
It's not human sacrifice for the sake of appeasing the gods.
Okay, shall I tell you why now?
He laid down his life to save mankind.
But you know this.
So you can't conflate the two together. You know what I mean?
So this is mentioned in John's Gospel. But see what John is doing, he's read Mark's Gospel, where Christ says, take this burden of cup away from me. For this, not this for this purpose that I've come. Let me try to understand where I'm coming from. But John, having read into Mark's account, finds that problematic, and then he changes Mark's account by saying, is it for this reason that I've come? No, it's for this very reason that I have come. Whereas in Mark's account, he says, take this cup away from me, for I do not want to go. And Hebrews 5:7.
He said, not my will, but your will.
So that means
if he willed it, then he certainly wouldn't do it.
But it carries on.
He still went through it because it was. You know what I mean?
But you know what he said? Listen, that bit you quoted, when he says, not my will, but your will be done. But what does it say? What if you carry on reading? But it also says, God heard his supplication.
Take the cup, it's your will. He was still willing to go through the Calvary.
Okay, now let me explain.
He was still willing. He said, if it's your will to take it away, then take it away.
So if that was his will, and he accepted,
but the Father's will was for him to carry on.
Okay, but if that was his will, and you're saying he accepts it, that's what you're saying, aren't you?
Well, he was, you know what I mean?
You said that. You just said that just now, that he accepts it. You said that, although it's.
He could have just stepped away and said, I'm not going to do this.
So if he, just check this out, I want you to think about this very, very carefully. If this was the case, and he accepts that this was God's will, even though he doesn't want to go through with it, then it begs the question, and think about this carefully, my friend. When he's on the cross, why is he then saying as his final words, why, God, my Lord, why have you forsaken me? He wouldn't have said that otherwise. Then, does that make any sense to you whatsoever? That he begs God initially to be saved, but then he says, no, not do my will, but what your will is. So that means what you said is that he was happy then to go ahead with it. But then he says on the cross, right, last thing, why have you forsaken me? That makes no sense at all.
The Father cannot look upon sin, and at that moment that Jesus takes the weight of the world, the sins of the world, God is a holy God. He had to be separate from the Son. So he had to, I mean, that's why he said, forsaken me. It's like spiritual separation. At that point, he took the sins of the world. So that's why he said, my God, why have you forsaken me?
I don't
He
understand.
took it at that moment in time. He took the sins of the whole world, so God couldn't look upon him.
But if he's doing that,
There was a separation at that point.
but even
As
if,
he took the sins of the world,
But that's still
spiritual separation.
shall I tell you why that doesn't make sense? Because you said to me, listen carefully, I'll repeat it again so there's no confusion. In Hebrews, where Jesus begs God, take this burden of cup away from me. And then they said, but do not do my will, but your will be done. But if you carry on reading, it says God hears his supplication. Because Hebrews 5:7 is quoted in Psalm 116. I'll repeat that once more to you. If you read Hebrews 5:7 and just analyze Psalm 116, where it says he begs God, and then God hears and delivers him from his ordeal. Deliver means, as you know, saves from that ordeal that he's going through.
In Psalms, King David.
No.
David.
But what I'm saying is, this is referred as a typology. It's a double meaning. Christians commonly like to refute that Psalms is in reference to David, but it's also in reference to Christ, called a double typology. Have you heard of that word? I think you were at that debate with Michael Brown and Zakir Hussain. This is a common term. Typology means, in essence, yeah. So typology literally means something which has a double meaning. It has one meaning on here, but it's a double meaning to it. So this is what you guys believe. You believe, but there's a typology in Psalm. But what I've just told you in Psalm...
There's like a lot of the Old Testament has
yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you, first of all, from the Hebrews, that he doesn't want to die, which don't you think is rather odd? Can I say something to you?
Sure.
Check this out. And I'm not trying to put any doubts on you, and I'm not trying to poison your mind. I want you to think, that's all. Nothing else.
I've got a lot of years of experience.
I'm sure you have. I've seen you. That's why I came and approached you.
I've had Muslim friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You see, it's just...
I've visited mosques, I've seen it all.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And
I've got experience in Islam, experience in Christianity.
You know, whatever you
I
decide...
know what resonates with me, I know what is true, what I believe with my whole heart is true.
Okay, fine. And neither am I here to convert you. All I want you to do is think. That's it, no more, nothing else, that's all.
I give thought to all things.
Okay, that's fine.
I keep an open mind, I don't go
Thank you, I appreciate that. I mean, that's good. You know, you should always be open, no matter... Listen to me. You know, whatever you believe, it's up to you. It's your choice, not my choice, no one else's choice. You stick to whatever you believe. All I want to do is to make you understand. Son of God means one who represents God.
I've seen it, I know, but it's so...
Okay. It's in your heart.
It's very deep.
It's very deep. Okay, so I've enjoyed speaking. You're a nice guy, you are. Okay, and you take care of yourself. Okay, you take care. Ahir, please remember, you know, when we're filming these things, Ahir, remember, we must, you know,